In the previous session, we have been discussing the second step, that is the designing a customer's value-driven marketing strategy. And under this step, we have already discussed and understood selecting customers to serve, choosing a value proposition. So, in this session, we will move on to the marketing management orientation part and the third step also. So, to begin with, marketing management wants to design strategies that will engage target customers and build profitable relationships with them. But what philosophy should guide these, marketing strategies, or what weight should be given to the interests of customers, the organization, and the society? These are some very strong questions that come up. So very often these interests conflict, and there are five alternative concepts under which organizations they design and carry out their marketing strategies. That is the product selling, marketing, and societal marketing concepts. So let us just explore each of them. First is the production concept. The production concept holds that the consumers will favor products that are available and are highly affordable. Therefore, management should focus on improving the production and distribution efficiency. This concept is one of the oldest orientations that guides sellers and the producers. So, the production concept is still a very useful philosophy in some situations. For example, in India, maybe electronic giant Xiaomi, and household appliances manufacturer, that is Voltas. They navigate the fiercely competitive and price conscious market landscape by leveraging the cost-effective labor, streamlined production process, and widespread distribution network. And both the companies, they position themselves to dominate the Indian market, and they are very popular brand. Therefore, they offer consumer affordable and qualitative products. There is no compromise in this. Because these products, this quality and affordability resonates with the diverse needs of the population or the consumers. However, although useful in some situations, the production concept can lead, to marketing myopia too. Companies adopting this orientation, they run a major risk of focusing too narrowly on their own operations and losing sight of the real objective, that is satisfying the consumer's needs and building customers' relationship. So maybe that is compromised sometime. Next is the product concept. The product concept, it holds that consumers will favor the products that offer the most in quality, in terms of quality, performance, and innovative features. So under this concept, marketing strategy, it focuses on making continuous product improvements. They keep on, innovating on the same product, doing more further research in order to improve upon the product quality and improvement are the most important parts of most marketing strategies. They keep on upgrading the product. So, however, focusing only on this or only on the company's products can also lead to marketing myopia. For example, we can see that some manufacturers, they believe that if they can build a better, maybe suppose mouse trap, then the world will be a path to their doors. But they are often, very rudely shocked. Buyers may be looking for a better solution to the mouse problem, but not necessary for a better mouse trap. So the better solution, might be a chemical spray and an extremating, service, a house cat or something else that suits their needs, but better than, maybe, which they feel that it is better than the mouse trap. So furthermore, a better mousetrap will not sell unless the manufacturer designs, packages and prices it in a more attractive way, places it in convenient distribution channels, brings it to the, maybe attention of the people who need it, and therefore convinces the buyers that it is a better product. Next is the selling concept. Many companies, they follow the selling concept, which holds that consumer will not buy enough of the firm's products unless it undertakes a large scale selling and promotion efforts. The selling concept is actually, it is typically practiced with unsought goods, those that buyers do not normally think of, buying, such as life insurance or blood donations. So these industries must be good at at tracking down prospects and selling them on product benefits. So, for example, maybe some aggressive sellings, however, they carry high risk. It focuses on actually creating sales transactions rather than on building the long-term profitable customer relationship. Actually, their aim is only to have they pay attention to volume of sales, that the quantity of sales. So the aim often is to sell what the company makes rather than to make what the market wants. They only focus on what the company can make and maybe sell it in large volumes. So it assumes that customers who are coaxed into buying the product will like it, or if they don't like it, they will possibly forget their disappointment and buy it again later. But they are poor assumption. We never know that they will be, they'll succeed in this or not. Next is the marketing concept. The marketing concept holds that achieving organizational goals depends on knowing the needs and wants of target markets and delivering the desired satisfaction better than competitors do. So under the marketing concept, what happens? Customer, they focus and value customers' focus and value are the path to sales and profit. So it is through through customer, that is, we plan the sales and the profit. So instead of product centered make and sell philosophy, the marketing concept is the customer centered, that is, sense and respond philosophy. The job is not to find the right customers for your product, but to find the right product for your customers. So we can say here we can differentiate between the selling and the marketing concept. That is, the selling concept takes an inside out perspective. It starts with the factory, focuses on the company's existing product and calls for a heavy, selling and promotion to obtain profitable sales. It focuses primarily on customer conquest, getting short-term sale with little concern about who will buy it. They are not bothered about the customers. Means not bothered, but less bothered about the customers. Whereas in contrast, in marketing concept, what happened? They take an outside in perspective. That is, for example, maybe as Herb Kelleher says, the colorful founder of Southwest Airlines, once he put it, we don't have a marketing department, we have a customer department. The marketing concept, it starts with a well-defined well-defined market, focuses on customers' need and integrate all the marketing activities that affect customers. So in turn, it yields profits by creating relationship with the right customers based on customers' value and satisfaction. So this is the other way around. This is how both the concept differ from each other. And then the last one is the societal marketing concept. That is the societal marketing concept. It questions whether the pure marketing concept overlooks a possible conflict between consumer short-run want and consumers' long-run welfare. So, is a firm that satisfies the immediate need and wants to target the markets, always doing what's best for his consumer in the long run. They bother less about the short period advantages or short term advantages or benefits to the consumer, but they look for the longer period welfare in the long term. So it says that is a firm that satisfied immediate needs and wants, targets market, always doing what's best for its consumers in the long run. And the societal marketing concept holds that marketing strategy should deliver value to customer in a way that maintains or improves both the consumers and society's well-being. It calls for sustainable marketing, socially and environmentally responsible marketing that meets the present needs of consumers and businesses with while also preserving or enhancing the ability of future generations to meet their needs. So they go for the I think overall development and prosperity of the society in the long term period. So coming to the third step after the second one, the third step talks about construct an integrated marketing program that delivers superior value. So here the company's marketing strategy, it outlines which customers it will serve and how it will create value for these customers. Next, the marketer develops an integrated marketing program that will actually deliver the intended value to target customers. The marketing program actually builds a customer relationship by transforming the marketing strategy into action. It consists of the firm's, marketing mix, the set of marketing tools the firm uses to implement its marketing strategy. So the major marketing mix tools are classified into four broad groups called the 4 P's of marketing. That is the product, the price, the promotion, and the place. And to deliver on its value proposition, the firm first creates a need satisfying market offering of market products. So first thing is it creates a suitable product and then assigns appropriate price, then decide in which market those products are to be sold, and then finally there is focus on the promotion part. That is how to persuade the consumers to accept what the product they have put in the market. So the firm must blend each marketing mix tools, that is the 4 P's. All these should blend it in such a way, in a very comprehensive integrated marketing program that communicates and delivers the intended value to chosen customers. And then after doing this, the next step is to engage the customers, build a profitable relationship, and create customer delight. So the first 3 steps in the marketing process, what we have already understood, understanding the marketplace and covering and marketplace and customers needs, designing a customer value driven marketing strategy, and constructing a marketing program, all lead up to the fourth and most important step, that is engaging customers and managing profitable customer relationship. So we'll first discuss the basic of customer relationship management. Then we examine how companies go about engaging customers as customers on a deeper level in this age of digital and social marketing. So we have so under this, the first we just focus on customer relationship management, which is perhaps the most important concept. In the broadest sense, I think customer relationship management is the overall process of building and maintaining the profitable, customer relationship by delivering superior customer value and satisfaction at the same time. So it deals with all the aspect of acquiring, engaging, and growing the customers. Then we come to the relationship building blocks, that is, customer value and satisfaction, which focuses on customer value and satisfaction. So the key to building a lasting customer relationship is to create superior customer value and satisfaction. Satisfied customers are more likely to be more loyal to the more loyal customers and give company a larger share of their businesses. Actually, we have already discussed this, that once we focus on customer, this will help in gradually building him or making him more loyal, because he will, once satisfied and happy with the product or services, he will continue purchasing the products that we are supplying in the market, and that helps us to generate business for a longer period of time. And then so we can say he keeps on giving larger share of business from time to time. So attracting and retaining the customers can be, maybe it may be a difficult task. It can be a difficult task, but customers, they often face a bewildering array of products and services from which to choose, because there is a huge variety available in the market. So many competitors are producing the same or similar products. So they have that from how to choose, from whom to choose. And the consumer, they buy from the firm that offers the highest customer perceived value, and the customers, their evaluation of the difference between all the benefits and all the cost of market offerings, whatever products you have put there, products or services you put there, relative to those of competing offers. Importantly, I think customers often do not judge value and cost accurately or objectively, but they can, they act on perceived value. They do understand that, yes, this is what we are getting in the market. So customers' satisfaction, that means depends on the product's perceived performance relative to buyers' expectation. So if the product's performance falls short of the expectation, then the customer is dissatisfied, obviously. It's if performance matches the expectations, then the customer is satisfied. And if performance exceeds the expectations, if the performance exceeds the expectation, then they are highly satisfied, or maybe they are delighted. And outstanding marketing companies go out of their way to keep important customers satisfied. So most studies show that higher level of customer satisfaction lead to greater customer loyalty, which in turn will result in better company performance. So the companies aim to delight the customers by promising only what they can deliver, and then delivering more than what they promise. This is one of the maybe technique to keep them delighted, not only happy but delighted. So delighted customers not only make the repeat purchases, but they also become a willing marketing partners. And maybe customer evangelists, customer evangelists who spread the word about their good experience to others also. So this was about the customer's value and satisfaction. Now we come to customer relationship levels and tools. We can say that companies, they can build customer relationship at many level. It depends upon the nature of the target market that they are looking up to. At one extreme, a company with many low margin customers may seek to develop a basic relationships with him or with them. For example, Procter and Gamble, there's a Tide detergent does not phone or call on all of its consumers to get to know them, know them personally. But instead, Tide creates, they have created an engagement and relationship through product experiences, brand building, advertisement, websites, and social media also. So at the other extreme, maybe in markets with few customers and high margins, seller, they want to create a full partnerships with key customers. For example, the sales team of Hindustan Unilever Limited, they collaborate closely with major retail partners such as Reliance Retail, Big Bazaar, and other prominent outlets where their flagship detergent brand Rin is available. And in between these two extremes, maybe other levels of customer relationships are also appropriate. So they can be explored and maybe followed by the companies. So coming to the next step after the customer relation, we come to capture value from customers in order to create create profits and customer equity. The first four step in the marketing processes, it involves engaging customers and building customers relationship by creating and delivering superior customer value. The final step, that is the fifth step, it involves the capturing value in return in the form of sales. How do you capture value? That is, the more sale means that you have captured that market. So it is in terms of having more sales. It is in terms of occupying certain market share for your products and the profits also. So by creating the superior customer value, the firm creates satisfied customers who stay very loyal and they buy more. This in turn means a greater long run return for the firms. So here we discuss the outcome of creating customer value, customer loyalty, and retention, share of market and share of customers, and maybe customers equity also. So the first thing under this step is creating customer loyalty and retention. The first is, so a good customer relationship management always creates customer satisfaction. This is very obvious. And in turn, a satisfied customer, they remain loyal and they talk favorably to others about the company and its product. We have seen studies which show big difference in the loyalty between satisfied and dissatisfied customers. Even slight dissatisfaction among the customers, it can create an enormous drop in loyalty. That is, enormous drop in sales and profits in turn. So thus the aim of customer relationship management is to create not only customer satisfaction but also customers delight. So keeping customers loyal makes good economic sense. Loyal customers, they spend more and they stay around longer. And research also shows that the 5 times that it's 5 times cheaper to keep an old customer than acquire a new one. That is, exploring a new market is quite expensive, maybe 5 times than trying to retain your the older ones. So conversely, customers defection, can be costly. So losing a customer means losing more than a single sale. So it means losing the entire stream of purchase, maybe that what that customer would make over a lifetime of patronage. For example, maybe let me share with you a classic illustration of customer lifetime value. That is, in a bustling market district in Mumbai, maybe there was a local grocer who recognizes the significance of customer satisfaction. Any crowded market you go, it's not only Mumbai, any crowded market, you will find that if there is a popular grocery store, he will have a big chunk of crowd with him. So, you know, we can say that understanding that the average customer frequents the store, is spending about maybe 1,000 per week, and remains a loyal patron for a decade, then a potential loss of revenue is, substantial if that customer has an unsatisfactory experience. Because if he decides to switch over to some other grocery store due to some negative encounter, then the grocer faces he faces the prospect of losing maybe rupees 5 lakh in 10 years revenue. Just an approximate calculation for him. So the impact could be even more significant if the dissatisfied customers, they share their experiences with others, and the others also, they get detached to that store. Because the word of mouth, it potentially influences, others also in shifting their loyalty and compounding the potential revenue loss for the grocer. So it is very important that you keep working on your customers' delight. Keep them, it means consistently they should remain delighted and happy and satisfied with your product and services. Then there is a growing share of customer that is beyond simply retaining the good ones. To capture customers' lifetime value, good customers' relationship management can also help marketers increase their share of consumers in the market, the share that they get of the customers purchasing in the product categories. So thus, maybe bank wants to increase the share of wallet. Supermarkets and restaurant, they want to get more share of stomachs for themselves. Car companies, they want to increase their share of garage, and airlines, they want greater share of travel. So to increase the share of customers, firms can offer greater variety of current customers. On the other, or they can either create programs to cross-sell and upsell to market more products and services to existing customers. For example, maybe in India, Flipkart can be taken as one of the example, which is a leading, commerce platform, adeptly utilizes its relationship with over 200 million customers across the country in order to enhance their share of each customer's spending. So once users, they engage with Flipkart platform, they often find themselves making purchases beyond they intend to what their initial intention was. As Flipkart employs, various strategies to facilitate and encourage this behavior. The platform continuously, they continuously expand its product range, product positioning itself as a comprehensive destination for diverse shopping needs, etc. So drawing the insights from the customer's purchase history, and they do it by drawing the customer's purchase history, or maybe and search patterns. So Flipkart, they employ a recommendation system that suggests related products, significantly influencing a substantial position of overall sales. So we find that, that how they keep on expanding their customers base and their want. Next is the building customers equity. Now we can now see that the importance of not only acquiring the customers, but also keeping and growing them. The value of a company comes from the value of its current and future customers. So customer relationship management takes a long term view. Companies want to not only create profitable customers, but also own them for lifetime, earn a greater share of their purchases, and capture their customers lifetime values. So they work on this customer. So what is customers equity? The ultimate aim of customer relationship management is to produce high customer equity. That is, um, it is the total combined customer lifetime value of all of the company's current and potential customers. As such, it's a measure of the future value of the company's customer base. So clearly, the more loyal the firm's profitable customer, the higher the customer equity will be. So it may be a better measure of a firm's performance than current sales or market share. So, whereas sales and market share reflect the past customer equity, the customer equity suggests the future part. It's not talking about the past, but what is there for that product in the future. Building the right relationship with the right customer is also important. Companies should manage their customer equity carefully. They should view customers as assets that need to be managed and maximized. But not all customers, not even all loyal customers are good investments. Surprisingly, some loyal customers can be unprofitable too, and some disloyal customers may prove to be more profitable. So, which customer should the company acquire and retain? This has to be understood and researched by the companies after understanding their customer thoroughly and working, or maybe taking, planning accordingly in order to hold on to building the customer's equity. So that is all about all the steps that are involved in marketing or marketing process. And once you understand, you will be knowing how to frame your strategies, how to stand on that platform in order to connect with your customers, and maybe have a long run, benefits from the same customer by retaining them or by expanding a broader base of consumers. So that is all about the market steps involved in market process. Thank you.